All right, what a day, what a day. The GOAT, Caitlyn Clark, made her return to the basketball floor today. I showed y'all, we got some live clips. I'm going to show y'all some more. But the important part of this video, Caitlyn Clark destroyed the Wnbpa, Nneka Wnba, Nafisa Collier, who tries to name drop her at her convenience to win people over, Brianna Stewart, the unrivaled co-founders, all these people that's a part of the board that's signing with Project B, and all of this stuff. Caitlyn Clark called their asses out today. She said, stop playing games. We need to play. We need to play WNBA basketball. That is what our fans want. Caitlyn Clark did not hold back. I got to show y'all the footage. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, hype the video. Let's get right into things. We have been watching this circus act, this clown show of a negotiation between the Wnbpa and the WNBA. And we've been waiting for Caitlyn Clark to get next to a microphone and say something. We've been wanting her to say something. Now she did. Let's get into what Caitlyn Clark had to say about this entire situation going on with the CBA and more.
Very high level, and I think the most important thing for myself, thinking about these CBA negotiations, like, this is the biggest moment the WNBA has ever seen, and it's not something that can be messed up, and, we're going to fight for everything that we deserve, but at the same time, like, we need to play basketball. That's what
We gonna fight for what you deserve, but we need to play basketball. Caitlyn Clark ain't playing in no Project B. She don't give a damn about no 3-on-3 unrivaled. We need WNBA basketball. Y'all better stop playing games. Stop playing games, because she will play with replacement players. Trust me. Man, Caitlyn, keep cooking. Stir the pot.
And, we're going to fight for everything that we deserve, but at the same time, like, we need to play basketball. That's what our fans crave, and that's what all of you crave as well, is you want the product on the floor. And at the end of the day, that's how you make the money, that's how you're marketable, that's what the fans get excited about, that's what the fans want to show up for. So, it's business and it's a negotiation, and there has to be compromise on both sides, and, we're starting to get down to the wire of it, and it's become really important, and obviously I want to help in any way I can, and I tried to educate myself the best I can. Obviously I can't speak to every single member, it's pretty complicated, but we certainly deserve that, and we're not going to compromise on that, and then other things that we can probably compromise on. But like I said, like, this is the biggest moment in the history of the WNBA, and I don't want that to be forgotten. It's important that we find a way to play this next season, and I think our fans and even everybody that has played in this league that has come before us deserve that as well.
I'm curious just
She said the way you get the money is by playing in games. United States, WNBA 5-on-5. That's going to get us more money, and we can get back to the table. Let's do a shorter CBA deal. Let's do a 3-year deal instead of a 5, and let's get back to the table and renegotiate again. But we need to play in games. We need to play in games. I'm going to sell out every arena, so I'm going to bring in the money again. I'm going to continue to do that, and everybody will eat. I love the fact that she said what needed to be said. Y'all ladies on the board that signed to these other leagues that's compromised, conflict of interest, stop playing games, bro. Stop playing games. She said it. Y'all want to see us play WNBA games. Y'all reporters, the fans, this is what they want to see us for. All this other stuff is cool. We're not there for that. We here to see y'all play WNBA hoops, bro. Straight up and down. CC standing on business. And I got to get to this article, but I got to show y'all this CC step back 3 first. Oh, my God. The GOAT is back, bro. The GOAT is literally back. It's a different type of energy when Caitlyn Clark is back playing basketball, man. I'm telling you. All right, let's get into this article here, man, because obviously we saw Caitlyn Clark call out some things that's going on and basically saying, look, we need to play. I understand, we negotiating and this and that, We need to play basketball, man. And I'm so happy that she said that. I want to get into this article. Let me see if there's one more thing I can pull up for you guys. Okay, no, that's good. That's good. That's good. All right, let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Here, this is on CBS Sports. It says the WNBA is undermining its own product again, but a perception-altering CBA is still within reach. It's been 11 days since the WNBA and Wnbpa announced that they agreed to a second extension of the CBA. This 140-day extension that moves the deadline, which was October 30th, to January 9th. In the days since, both sides have taken their turns using the media as their messengers, turning up the volume on one of the most important negotiations in women's sports history. The WNBA got the headlines first with reports that their latest offer included, among other things, a $5 million salary cap, up to $1.5 million, $1 million base max salaries that would go up to 1.2 million with revenue sharing, and a salary structure that includes team and league revenue. In the revenue sharing, yearly pay increases based on the growth of the business, something players have been asking for. But quickly, the Wnbpa let it be known that the WNBA's proposal came with some major downsides for players, such as an end to housing subsidies and possible March start to training camp. And that even though the league was offering revenue sharing, the way they were structuring it will result in players just receiving just 10 to 15% of projected league revenue. The back and forth is to be expected at any high stakes labor fight, and it's somewhat a relief to be finally getting concrete information out in the open after a year of mostly silence from both parties. But as someone who has covered and studied labor negotiations in women's sports intensively over the last decade, there is something uniquely disheartening about these particular talks, because it shows that even as the WNBA has grown to a place where billionaires are tripping over themselves to pay $250 million for expansion franchise, team valuations are surpassing $500 million, and there's a $2.2 billion television deal, and revenue and ratings, attendance, and sponsorships are booming. The players at the heart of the WNBA are still battling the powers that be in the league for respect and decency. So it's going to show there's still a major fight going on, and we haven't heard much since, we haven't really heard too much since the initial extension. We've heard little bits and pieces here and there, but nothing concrete. But at least Caitlyn Clark is stepping up to the forefront and letting these players know, listen, we need to have a season, and y'all need to get this done. Stop playing games and get it done. I don't got time for these games y'all playing. I'm not going to y'all leagues. I'm going to play in the WNBA. This is where I want to hoop. Get the deal done, and I'll make sure the seats are filled so that we can get more money on the next CBA. But y'all need to stop playing games. Caitlyn Clark standing on business. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. This Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel.